to the 8th episode of the Top Cut Pod. I am your host, Juan Pablo Ipiales, and joined today, as always, Lucas Ward. How are you doing today, Lucas?
Doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. School's been a little bit
Good.
busy, but almost done, which is nice. And
Hmm.
yeah, just excited. It's not a sports podcast, but what heartbreak for the Canadian men's hockey team and the women's
Both
hockey
men's
team.
and women's. Yeah.
Yeah, both
That's
overtime losses.
Mhm.
Rough.
Yeah, it's I've just been seeing all over. It's been a hard few months being Canadian. Because Stanley Cup Finals, Edmonton lost. MLB Finals, Blue Jays lost. It's just Canada always seems to be losing
Yeah, this
everything.
year has not been kind to
So
the Canadians.
yeah.
And then I think we also had no Canadian winner for. I don't think we've had a Canadian winner this entire. Oh, Jackson Ford. Jackson Ford did win one regionals,
Oh, for
which is
Pokemon?
good. Yeah, for
Yeah.
Pokemon. I'm trying to think.
Hmm.
Yeah, Jackson Ford has won one regionals, but other than that, I don't think there's been anything else. Yeah, been
No,
a
yeah,
tough.
I have all the winners here, yeah. Just Jackson.
Yeah, so a bit of a tougher year for Canadians, but at the end of the day, not horrible. But yeah,
Mhm.
the women's was pretty tough, but like at least that game, it definitely felt like Canada, if they won, they would have stole the win, just because
Right.
of how dominant the U.S. women's teams was. The men's
Hmm.
particularly though was bad. Like the amount of missed chances. I
Oh yeah.
keep seeing that screen grab of McKinnon like in the open net missing the puck, and
Just
it's like
missing, yeah,
it's bad.
it sucks.
It does
Yeah.
suck, but we're not here to talk about that today.
Hmm.
Today, I mean, it's just another day in the Phantasmal Flames format. Luckily, this will be the last podcast episode in the Phantasmal Flame format. But I think out of the
Hmm.
8 podcast episodes we have, I think 3 are in the Phantasmal Flames format, which is quite horrible.
That makes
Like,
sense.
objectively,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Hmm.
Um, Yes, okay, so for this week, we're going to be talking about, again, we've been in this format for a long time. It's been a bit of a grind, but at the end of the day, we're going to talk about a little bit about EUIC.
Hmm.
It's going to be very, very standard stuff. I think we're kind of used to at this point. But then we're going to head over to look at Champions League, which I think is going to be a bit more interesting, just simply because of the fact that post rotation, which is nice. First tournament post rotation, which is going to be quite fun. And we're gonna however talk about a little bit of our local challenge, and we will be highlighting a deck this week that we just want to kind of talk about a player's very creative deck list that made me laugh when
Hmm.
they showed me in person. I haven't played competitive Pokemon, Lucas. I'm not sure if you have been able to over the past couple weeks.
Um, I've played, but none of it has gone well for me. So I don't think I need to share any of it.
So
I, yeah.
So then at the end, we'll be giving a little bit of a shout out to what we're going to be doing at Top Shelf for International Pokemon Day. And yeah, so without further ado, we can hop into EUIC, which, quite frankly, once again, I think it's not necessarily something that might surprise most people.
No Dragapult Dusknoir until 18th place. So
Okay,
that's a change.
okay.
I'm looking at the standings and I'm trying to find something exciting about it. Absol is cool. It's a newish deck, so seeing that win, I think is pretty cool. But um, a lot of Canadians were in Top Cut. Lucas Singh, Jackson Ford, and Christian Labella. So that's something I thought was great. I watched all the games that they streamed of those players. And every time I watched, one of them lost. So maybe I'm just the bad luck for Canadians.
It's not good
But
for the Canadians. They even lost
I
to
was, yeah,
EUIC.
I was cheering for them, but I mean, they did very well. They made top cut, but would have liked them to make it a little bit further. That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, it's I think kind of standard practice when it comes to just the level of play getting so high in Pokemon, and like even
Mhm.
compared to last season. Like I've been following competitive for a while. I've already been playing for a bit for the past 2 seasons, but I would even say last season it wasn't this consistent that we were seeing the same names over and over again. And I think like it is incredible that we see again another Jackson Ford top cut. We see another Lucas Jing top cut. Um, toward Redcliffe, I think, yeah, he got top cut because the cutoff was at 16th, I believe. And then
I don't remember, but he did. He definitely did. Yeah.
Ian Robb top cut. Like we have all these Brent Tonneson top cut. Like again, like these repeated names that we see at these high tables. Daichi, I know top cut because he likes coming out. Um, which pretty cool for him. Like I think if I'm not mistaken, he went from first. He won last year. No, he did not win the UIC last year. But I think it's just really cool that we're seeing these top competitors just continuously get these top finishes. I think it just speaks a lot to the fact that this game is becoming super, super competitive and it's now kind of rewarding a lot more, I would say. This is
Yeah.
again the fact that I think before maybe the way the decks were, and also I think the format solved, which is I think as we were talking about, is it a little boring? Yes. But I think it just kind of also gives opportunity for like dedicated players to kind of show the best of the best and like how they're the
Mhm.
best of the format, which we did. That's what we talked about last week, right? We were like, UIC is going to be the definitive of like who's the king of this format, who's the king of like Phantasmal Flames. We've had it for a while, and it goes to show that the top players are obviously going to be the kings of it.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I think that was pretty cool overall. Drew Stephenson did have the one of the biggest throws I think in modern Pokemon history. I don't know if you remember what happened there, Lucas, but essentially he was trying to play out of a Yveltal stall that's Eden Menson had placed, and he had Soul Rock to KO to do damage to the Yveltal. Edwin would have been able to respond really, and then he would have been able to take his last prize card. He forgot to bench a Lunatone. So he goes to attack, declares the attack without a Lunatone on the bench, and that kind of lost him the game. Like I think Pokemon is one of those weird competitions where like people aren't really as animated, like in the sense like when they celebrate or when they win or when they lose. Like there's only a handful
Mhm.
of players that like I can think of or moments I can think of. But Drew Stephenson audibly was not like you can see that he was pretty upset. Like he was definitely pretty upset after the
Right.
game.
Hmm.
Um, but I think it just goes to show that like the pressure of the moment is like so high. Um,
Oh yeah. If I was on that stage, I would probably play the worst game of my life. Like it's just the nerves. Yeah. So I understand. I understand.
yeah, like I'm not trying to
Yeah.
be like, oh, like what a bad player. I'm just like, and he played
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
well the rest of the set. I think it's just one of those things where I do it on like like I do it on the ladder. Like I just like am
Hmm.
thinking ahead, and I'm like, oh, this is a play, and then I'm like, oh, I haven't done anything. Cool. Concede, skip next. But
Right.
a bit hard for Drew Stephenson, but I think he's gonna be fine. Like he's such a great player. I'm so excited
Yeah.
for the new format though. I'm so excited for this new format just to have something new. Um, yeah, like again, not much to talk about. The deck lists are the same deck lists that we've been seeing again and again. I guess like you're right. No Dragapult in Top Cut, which is kind of
No Dragon Ball
funny.
Dusknoir.
Or Dragapult Duskmore. Yeah,
There's a Dragon Ball Charizard. Yeah. I
Dragapult
just but
Charizard, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is a list that like so many players. Was it? Oh no, it was the one from the last tournament. But no, this is very cool that we have like a decently diverse meta. I guess like we have Zoroark, we have some Absolbox, Goldango. Um, but yes, I'm so excited for rotation. I'm so excited for rotation. I guess a cool thing is that we did have a Froslass Monkey Dory in just miss out on Top Cut,
yeah.
which is pretty cool. A little
Hmm.
fun deck with Ethan
I have
Sudowoodo.
been playing Frostlass Munkidori on the ladder a little bit, but with Mega Frostlass. So with Ascended Heroes. Um, but that I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I like seeing that deck there. It is very cool.
Yeah, no, I like Ascended Heroes has, at least for me personally, brought a lot of freshness back into the game.
Yeah.
We'll talk about more of that later on. But that's kind of UIC. Boring, quick. Congratulations to Edwin on his win,
Yeah.
and then obviously Drew Severson and like Liam Halberton. Again, it's really cool to see him top four. Um, I think he's going to have. Like, I think he's one of the top contenders, in my opinion, for Worlds this year, depending on how Zork develops into the meta. But
Yeah.
no, we don't usually talk about Champions League on this podcast just because Usually, there's not really much to talk about, but this Champions League has been pretty interesting because there is a complete change in the meta because they have had their rotation and they also have cards in perfect order. Honestly,
Yes.
Lucas, if you told me the Absol box was going to be good post rotation, I would have been like, how? They lose all their ways to set up. But the first deck to take over a major, and these are major tournaments, 7,000 players.
Hmm.
Um, of course, it's best of one format and all of that, but 7,000 players is insane. Um,
Yeah.
it's a lottery system for these players to get in, and obviously it's
Hmm.
super competitive, not just because it's regional, but when it comes to qualifying for Worlds in Japan, this is one of your few options if you don't travel because of how hard it is to qualify to Worlds being a Japanese player. Um, but yeah, Lucas, how about you bring me? How about we talk about Meowth EX and why, if maybe
Sure.
someone didn't know, why is this basic Pokemon with 170 HP heading into a Mega format, seeing three ofs, two ofs? I think I saw a deck on Twitter of four ofs of this card. Explain that to me, Lucas, because I think that doesn't make a lot of sense to a
Yeah.
lot of people.
So Meowth EX is a card that we've seen a lot before in the form Pokemon TCG. So if you were around with Luminion V, very similar idea. Um, when you play the card, I don't know the exact wording of the Meowth, but it lets you search your deck for a supporter, which is very good in, as you can imagine, in pretty much any deck.
Every
But
deck.
yeah, so but talking about like the Mega Absol box, for example, it lost Arvin, which Arvin for Trolley was a big part of that deck. But Ultra Ball now, because since there's Meowth, is pretty much any supporter in your deck. So getting an Ultra Ball for Meowth, and then this list runs Serrano. Search your deck for 3 EX Pokemon. That's how it's getting set up now, which seems pretty smart. You get an Ultra Ball in your starting hand or a Serrano, then you don't even need Meowth. Then you're set up. So that's pretty awesome. That I don't know the name of the person who won, but Takato. Great idea from him. But yeah, Meowth good in any deck. I don't know how much I love that they reprinted a card like this, just because they also reprinted Boss's Orders. So now Ultra Ball at the end of game wins you the game. Ultra Ball for Meowth for Boss. Um, but it is a very good card. It is cool. I like Meowth as a Pokemon, so it's cool to see that it's relevant in the game. But yeah,
Yeah, it
that's what
is
I have to say about
pretty.
that.
Yeah, no, I think it's objectively pretty cool to kind of have a supporter card. Like I am of the agreement where it's like I don't understand why they would reprint boss and have this because it does kind of like boss for game is already quite not boring. Yeah, it is a little boring honestly. Like sometimes like when you're watching a really good game or you're playing a really good game, and then like I said, I've been on the lucky side of it where I get Iono to two, and then it goes oh top deck boss game, right? And it's like it's
Yeah.
fun to win that way sometimes, but ultimately it does make the game feel a little stale. So I do agree. It's kind of like have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I think it's a good card overall because I think it just means you get to play more Pokemon in the sense where it's like
Yeah.
you're going to be essentially having less bricks. Hopefully, is the entire point. Like I think a big use of this
Mhm.
card is, oh my god, my hand is garbage. I'm not gonna be able to play anything. I have Ultra Ball, Meowth, Ultra Ball, Lilith Determination, Fresh Hand.
Yeah.
Um, so like that's good. I like that aspect of it because for me, it's like if there's more opportunity to just physically play the game, there's less opportunities that we have of people bricking and not being able to play the game. Then I think
Mhm.
that's all cool. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on the same boat as you where it's like boss for game at the end of the game just makes it so hard and with no good hand disruption right now too. Like it's not
Yeah.
like you Iono someone to one and they draw a card, then they can't play it like we had in the Luminion format.
Hmm.
Now it's judge or Judge to 4, which I was watching a bit of Azul do the watch party. Judge to 4, it happened, I think, 2 games I saw Judge to 4 for like a kind of hand disruption Ultra Ball, Meowth boss for game. So that I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of. Like, I completely agree with you on that. Another thing that's definitely a little worrying, and I really hope they print something, is every single deck on stream, I think, bar Mega Lucario, was playing Unfair Stamp as the ace spec. For those of you who
Yeah,
don't know,
buy your unfair stamps as soon as possible.
buy your Unfair Stamps if you don't
They're
have
already
it.
going up in price.
Yeah, they are going.
Sorry about that. Has some technical difficulties with the audio. We're now back. As I was saying, yeah, everyone playing Unfair Stamp is kind of boring, but it's the only option, really.
Yeah. Yep. But
But what are you going to do about it when there's no good hand disruption? So that was kind of like...
I think they're going to print one eventually. They better, but I can't imagine them not. But when that will be, of course I don't know. Hopefully it's in the set after Perfect Order. Something like, it doesn't have to be as powerful as Iono, but something better than Judge would be good. But yeah, Unfair Stamp for now is a very good disruption card. You can only play one in your deck, so I guess it can add more strategy to the game because you can only do it once, so you use it at the right time, which is, I guess, a layer that you can think about that makes it better. But yeah, I think that's what I have to say about disruption. I hope they print a new card.
Yeah, Harley Quinn unfortunately did not make any. I have to look at the deck list, but I don't think Harley Quinn was super up there, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for all those people who pulled way too many of the IRs in Harley Quinn, you're not going to get any boost as we were hoping. I know that was a lot of cope I was seeing on Twitter for like people opening Black Bolt White Flare, and they're like, "Oh, rotation, I'm going to be rich." I do not think so. I don't think any decks were playing it. Overall, looking a bit of this, like they only show top 16 on Limitless. You have to go Limitless Labs to look at it. At least diverse meta.
It's, second place. Very cool deck.
Meganium with Teal Mask Overpawn.
Arboliva EX.
Arboliva EX. And now this is actually really funny. I'm not... One of our locals, Julian, went at Toronto Regionals. He pulled, I think, 2 of these Arbolo EXs when he was like getting his prizing from the IR.
Oh,
from the prize ball. We kept making fun of him for it just because he pulled 2 of them and didn't get a single hit from, I think, Distant Rivals. I remember what the set is. I think it's Distant Rivals.
Yeah, Distant Rivals.
And well, look what happens.
Now he has
probably that card's gonna go up by 50 cents. He's going to be a rich man at the end of the day. I think he ended up giving it to some kid, like a kid who was like watching his, like I don't even think he has it, but it's quite funny. We see some Crustle, which is pretty cool. But yeah, diverse meta. It seems like, obviously, like Japan's such an outlier because best of 1 format. It's not, and I don't mean to shade anything, but it's also not necessarily the best of the best who play in it, because I'm not sure if you're familiar with the format, but it's a lottery-based system. So a lot of systems in Japan, like concerts and everything, you have to apply to get into a lottery to have a chance to enter it. And the Champions League is no different. That's why we see like very few foreign players go, because like you can't plan a trip there. You can't plan and secure that you're going to go to Japan and then play in the Champions League, because it's a complete random draw. So there is definitely kind of a different aspect to that, where it's not going to be the highest level players like it is here in the West, where like if a top level player can attend, a top level player is going to go. But still, nonetheless, pretty cool to see some of the cards in the action. A lot of the energies were pretty cool to see. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we adopt it over here. Gives me hope for like rotation being fresh, because it does seem pretty fresh. I find it really cool. The Mega Absol Box honestly won. I think it's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is for sure.
And especially because I've been like eyeing this deck as something I want to play more, so it's been pretty cool to see that it's pretty good. Something that was really interesting to me, I saw a lot on stream. Every single deck is running Lily's Clefairy 2, just for Dragapult tech.
Okay.
And even Dragapults were running it, because they're playing Crispin now. So you just go if your opponent has Dragapult in the active and you have two prize cards left, or you want to trade back in Lily's Pearl. So a lot of them are using it. Like, I think it's a one of in a lot of decks, just for prize mapping and prize trading. So that was pretty cool to see.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um, but yeah, like overall, it's cool. Take it with a grain of salt because for whatever reason, mainly because sometimes we get a promo card here and there that wasn't in their set. Mainly, we just play a completely different format. Because I think by
yeah.
the time, like, I think we won't even have this format if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, we will for a brief amount of
I think
time.
we will. I think we will. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like last year. I think last year the post rotation format was just one we never had because it was so different. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. But now
Yeah.
let's talk about our local challenge. I always love talking about our locals, and a little thing I wanted to shout out was thank you for everyone for having some diversity at our local challenge. We didn't have this many players. I think it's definitely an awkward time of year. This was yeah, it's like the middle of exam season for a lot of people in university. A lot of people who are in are like I don't think we have that many juniors and seniors, or specifically seniors, like in high school, who play at Top Shelf. But that's also a time where a lot of kids go on study breaks for exams after exams between a new semester. I think it was also Valentine's Day weekend, so sometimes people are out having plans. So we have a lot of people
Right.
kind of show up, but our dedicated members showed up. Shout out to Huey who won. It's Huey, right?
Hugh.
It's you.
Just you.
Yeah. Shout out
Yeah.
to Hugh who won another league challenge. I think this is his second win. I didn't update the graphic about the leaderboard, but I think this is his second win of the season, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
That sounds right. He wins locals. Like if he comes to locals, he'll win pretty often as well. So
yeah, so he's kind of
yeah.
a pretty cool local here. Obviously, again, it's just so cool the connection between him and Raleigh K, like Raleigh McKay, and so it's pretty cool to see that he's also pretty good. Ziad second with Dragapult
Yeah.
Charizard. I was joking around because I wasn't able to attend the challenge. I have beaten Ziad in every single game of Pokemon we have played, like locals or not locals. This doesn't really matter. It is just funny though that I was talking to Marco and Janikin. I was like, guys, the one time I don't show up, you guys let them get second. That's ridiculous. Um, so I was kind of just messing
Yeah.
around. But shout out to Ziad.
Mhm.
I mean, it's I think 13. He gets points. I think it's just top two. Wolf, right?
I think top four.
But top four, yeah, six. So all these people got points, which is like another good
Mhm.
thing about the smaller locals. Like you're not going to complain about being able to
Mhm.
get a bit closer if you're looking for even just the ace trainer. Um, then we had top three with because there's no Gardevoir, so I think it also shows that Mega Lucario is gonna be a pretty good deck post rotation. Because like if we take away Gardevoir from the occasion here, like it's gonna be doing a lot. I've been playtesting a bit too.
Yeah.
It's a pretty strong deck. It's really fun to play. And Jonathan Yang, who's been also playing Dragapult Charizard for a really long time. Um, I don't think there's much to talk about the locals overall, but if you notice a graphic, there is something that says other because Lucas, I could not, for the life of me, know how to qualify this deck, and I do want to shout out Marco. Lucas, you obviously can't explain the deck because you also don't know what it's supposed to do. But
I can try.
if you want to
Um,
try to theorize what was going on through
Yeah.
Marco's brain while he was absolutely cooking with this Mega Lopunny, Zoro, and Zoroark, Frostlass Monkey Dory, Mega Asshole deck, how about
Um, I can try. So I think it's the main purpose of it was Zorak is a great draw engine, and he also added the ability to attack with Zorak by adding the Reshiram in there, and the ends PP up. So that's great for that. Frostless Monkey Dory is also a great deck. It has its good matchups. I know, or well, I think at least he may have been just counter picking Janikin by putting the Frostlass and Monkey Dory in there because Janikin, another one of our locals, always plays Raging Bolt.
yes,
Frostlass Monkey Dory is very good against Raging Bolt. So just adding the 2/2 Frostlass and 3 Monkey Dories into the deck. You don't really need any different types of energies for that because the Zoroark already uses dark energies. and then everything else. The Mega Lopunny, Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, and Mega Absol, I think are just situational cards that he probably thought of for different matchups. And having the trolley in the deck,
Yeah.
if you get trolley, you can just set up however you want for whatever you're playing against. I still don't think it's very consistent, just because if you ever have tried to play a deck like this before, it's hard. Like it's just they're usually so inconsistent. But I watched a couple of his games, and he got set up most of the time, so he made it work. But yeah, very cool to see that. I love to see that. It's awesome just seeing our locals make up their own decks and not just copying what does well. But yeah, overall, super cool deck. I don't know if you have anything to add for what I said.
I think this is super cool. I do want to add some insider information, which I think this is just Marco, because I did have the deck list. So for context, Lucas, he has one of the SIRs for Mega Lopunny. The Absol is an SIR. I believe.
Oh, I did know he does. He does. Yes. Okay.
So
you can continue. Sorry.
For context, Marco is at our locals notorious for being a max rarity deck, and not just like a normal way in the sense where like some people like having, their gold ultra balls, or like having like now the full ultra ball, some SIRs here and there. Marco's the type of player who plays with the SIR Latias and the SIR Pikachu from Searching Sparks. And I genuinely think this deck is simply a demonstration of all the cool cards he has, because of two of the energy switches. They are the older gold ones. The Pokegear was one of the gold ones he just picked up. The Boss's Orders, I believe. No, those seem to be not. Those seem to not be SIRs, but a lot of this is just SIRs, which is really funny to me. So, honestly, a bit of a shout out to him. Like, both the Zoras are the ETB promo.
Right. Yeah. You just put all of his SIRs in a pile and he's like, how can I make this work?
Yeah, I think he just wanted to kind of flex a little bit. And I remember that day I was working and I come downstairs and I start talking to everyone. He's like, well, you're not going to believe my deck. And I was like, okay. Marco likes to jump around, I would say, for a decent amount, but Terror Box has been probably his like strongest deck, and the one he usually brings the challenges. So I thought he was going to show me a couple of new SIRs he picked up. And he just said, look at the Pokemon. And I had to sit there for 20 minutes just not believing that this was actually the deck he chose, thinking that he was playing some sort of joke on me. And then you gave me the deck list, and then that's when I found out this was actually serious. But no, I do like that this is like a cool little inclusion to kind of like make something on your own. Sure, is it like showing off the bling in your deck? Yeah, but like I think with a little bit of tweaking, you could make like just a pretty fun like locals deck out of this. Maybe add some more Crispins in there to make the Mega Absol box a bit more consistent. Maybe have, I don't know what you gotta do to make this deck more consistent, but definitely it's just something funny from Marco, and I wanted to highlight it just because I think it's pretty cool when people, again, like you said, they try something on their own. Regardless of the motivation behind it, it's cool to have some sort of like innovation. It's cool to try something, and like I do honestly I really do like the idea of Frostlass with Mega Absol box. I think that's pretty cool. Or Mega Absol. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I think there are situations where it's gonna be easier to set up Terminal Period, which sometimes people think about, but it's really hard to consistently set up all the Monkey Dories for it. Or a lot of players, when they have Precious Trolley, they don't select the two Monkey Dories. So I think there's going to be some cool stuff you could maybe do. The TM Evo is a choice.
I think Turbo Energized is still maybe better.
Yeah, like
for the like, but I mean TM Evo, get your Zoroarks, Frostlass, Lopunny. It works.
It works. I definitely think I would love to see more of this. I hope maybe for this week's locals, he brings something similar or likes add on it because it'd be very nice. But yeah, again, like I love sharing our locals. I love talking about our locals. Unfortunately, it's just like it's been the same format for a long time, and it's just a little stale. But I think Send Heroes is going to be really cool to see what people build. You mentioned that you're playing Mega Frostlass for a bit.
Yes.
And I have been playing Mega Feraligatr. For those of you who are unaware, Mega Feraligatr does 200 damage for 2 water energy and a colorless. But if your defending Pokemon has any damage counters on it, it is 400 damage. So it effectively one hits KOs everything in the format, including the bigger, tankier Megas. So I've just been having a blast playing a post-rotation list on it. And I think the deck's pretty cool. I'll drop it. I'll put it on the podcast. I don't have it pulled up, but it's a pretty fun list. I will make tweaks to it, though, because I did forget that they reprinted Pokegear. Because I thought that they didn't. Pokegear. So I thought they didn't.
Yeah.
So I was playing without it, and it was super inconsistent. And then I realized that they were playing it. I'm also using a Dracloak draw engine. So it's 3 Feraligatr, or 3 Totodile, 2 Conkernar, and then 2 Mega Feraligatrs, and then a 3/3 Drapey Dracloak line. And that has been pretty cool. Honestly, it's like you can't beat them, join them. Plus, I really want the SIRs from that set. They're never going to be cheap. They're always going to be expensive. only hope is to pull something. So there's that. Have you been playing any Ascended Heroes online? Have you been trying anything? Has like anything been catching your eye?
I haven't been playing too much. I know it's not really Ascended Heroes, but just kind of looking at like post rotation. I really enjoy like Meganium and Teal Mask Ogrepon, like using that. But just the Mega Frostlass is really what I've been using. I have been using the arts from Ascended Heroes in my decks on the ladder, so that's awesome. Just having some cool looking cards. But other than the Mega Frostlass, nothing really, and it's only a one of in the Frostlass Monkey Dory deck, so it's the Pokepads are very good. Pokepads in that deck, because it's an Ultra Ball, pretty much. You're searching for every Pokemon in your deck except Mega Frostlass, which you only need sometimes. So the Pokepads are very good to have, but that's really all I've been doing with Ascended Heroes.
Yeah, that's super fair. I really hope they print more of the set because I think Pokegear is like at $8, and like no shop locally I've been able to find it at, and I don't want to pay.
I've pulled one so far.
I have
one.
I keep seeing videos on Instagram, and it's like POV. You just pulled the rarest card in Ascended Heroes, and it's like a Pokepad, and I'm like, yeah, it feels like that. Like even at our sometimes at our shop, like people like open their bulk and leave their bulk, and even the people I've seen open in store haven't pulled a Pokepad. And they're not necessarily people who play the game, but it's been so funny just to like see the lack of Pokepad that people are pulling. But also, there's something super lucky about our shop because people have pulled about every single really nice SIR from the set. I saw someone post the Pikachu SIR. Someone just posted the new Lily's Clefairy SIR, and I've never been more jealous.
I saw that. Yeah.
I've never been more jealous.
That's so nice.
I'm like, oh, it's so much better than the older SIR. And again, post rotation, every deck has a Lily's Clefairy in it. So it's like, so I do feel jealous. I did say, I did open that message in our Discord, and I was like, why can't it be me?
Yeah.
Shit.
I don't know. I have no idea when this is going to come. I got lucky. I have my notifications on for a couple local stores. So I got a decent amount. I got 12 packs I pre-ordered. So I don't think they're coming until like mid-March. But I have some on the way. So that's exciting. So I have more opening in the future, which is good.
I will. Yeah, I wish you luck because the set's.
Yeah, I'll need it. Oh,
the staggered release was such a good idea in practice, and a good idea in like theory, but the practice has been absolutely horrendous, especially for the state of the game. But yeah, shout out to everyone who's like pulled good cards. We had these
Oh
two.
yeah,
We had these two people who told us that from two ETBs, they both like each ETB had a gold Dragonite in it. Um,
that's insane.
so that's also
Wow.
pretty crazy. And then,
Yeah,
and then we've been having limits of our store because that's how like we best try to make sure everyone get product. And then they came with like a friend to give the friend an account, and then
yeah,
because I mean, yeah, if you hit two gold Dragonites, I also hope that they went and played the lottery because I think
yeah.
when are they going to get luckier than that?
I have not pulled a gold card from any of the mega sets, but just seeing online the pull rates of them, it's crazy. Like they're so rare. Um, but which is awesome. Like if they're supposed to be rare, that's what makes them so special. But um, it's crazy how rare they are. And to get two from two ETBs,
Yeah, they're telling me, and I
wow.
almost didn't believe them, and then they did show me a photo, and I was like, okay.
Mhm.
I just don't think
Yeah,
they use Discord. I'm sure they would have posted it on our Discord if they used it.
yeah,
But yeah, that's kind of it for this week. But quickly, before you do end, I do want to shout out some very cool stuff we're going to be doing for International Pokemon Day over at Top Shelf. We're going to be having some friendly competition. Just come in, play the game, enjoy the game. And we're going to be doing some trivia throughout the night. It will be on Friday, the 27th. So it will be actually on International Pokemon Day, which is quite nice.
mhm,
And then we're going to do a bit of a movie watch along with one of the Mewtwo movies on Netflix. I forget exactly which one it is. But if you're interested in the casual play, if you're interested to even come out and learn the game, I will be there. I will be bringing a couple of decks. I was going to bring Mega Lucario and Mega Venusaur to teach people how to play. Simple decks that aren't
sweet.
super complicated and are very straightforward with Pokemon, but they kind of teach you everything. They have abilities, they have evolution abilities, they have stadiums, so they have all these things I think can teach the game pretty well. So
Mhm.
hopefully we'll have some room to do that if you're interested in learning how to play the game. And I probably will be also not part of the store event, just personally. I will probably be buying Fire Red with the new release that they're going
Oh
to
yeah,
Switch. I've never had the chance to play Fire Red. Um, so I'm pretty hyped for that. And as a Snorlax fan, I can actually use a Snorlax in my Pokemon team and it'd be good because in the new games, it sucks. It is so bad. You can't do anything with it, unfortunately. But Fire Red is like one of the best Pokemons in the game because of how bulky it is. So that is going to be pretty cool. But I think that is everything from us. It has been Juan Pablo Ipiales and Lucas Rorid, and we want to thank you guys so much for watching this month's episode of the Top Cut Pod. We see you guys all next month, which is going to be exciting because it's going to be a new format. It's going to be something new. It's going to
yeah,
be something fresh. Hopefully, we'll see some cool innovations from our locals. We'll see some cool stuff. I don't remember if there's a major. I think there's one. But hopefully, it's going to be change up the game a little bit, or at least give us something new to talk about. For the time
yes,
being, have a great month, have a great time, and if you're ever in the area, make sure to stop on over to Top Shelf and come to our locals, which is every Thursdays at 6, and you should join our Discord for any new Pokemon TCG drops, which will be left in the description below. Lucas, do you have any final thoughts?
No, I don't think so. Have a great month, everybody. Enjoy opening Ascended Heroes, and I'm not sure if we'll be filming another podcast before Perfect Order, but if not, good luck in Perfect Order as well. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's all.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you guys all next month, and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.